A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 8. The kingdom of heaven is proclaimed. Cure of a man with leprosy. After he had come down from the mountain, large crowds followed him, and see, a leper came up and worshipped him, saying, "Lord, if you are willing, you can cleanse me." Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, "I am willing. Be cleansed." And at once his leprosy was cleansed. Then Jesus said to him, "See that you tell no one, but go and show yourself to the priest and make the offering prescribed by Moses as evidence to them." Cure of the centurion's servant. When he went into Capernaum, a centurion came up and pleaded with him, saying, "Lord, my servant is lying at home, paralyzed and in terrible pain." Jesus said to him, "I will come myself and cure him." The centurion replied, "Lord, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof. Just give the word, and my servant will be cured. For I am under authority myself, and have soldiers under me, and I say to one man, 'Go,' and he goes. To another, 'Come,' and he comes. To my servant, 'Do this,' and he does it." When Jesus heard this, he was astonished and said to those following him, "Amen, I say to you, in no one in Israel have I found faith as great as this. And I tell you that many will come from east and west and sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob at the feast in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom will be thrown out into the darkness outside, where there will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth." And to the centurion, Jesus said, "Go back. Let this be done for you as you have believed." And the servant was cured at that hour. Cure of Peter's mother-in-law. And going into Peter's house, Jesus found Peter's mother-in-law lying down and feverish. He touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she got up and began to serve him. That evening they brought him many who were possessed by demons. He drove out the spirits with a command and cured all who were sick. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. He himself bore our sicknesses away and carried our diseases. Many cures. When Jesus saw many crowds all about him, he gave orders to leave for the other side. One of the scribes then came up and said to him, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus said, "Foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." Another man, one of the disciples, said to him, "Lord, let me first go and bury my father." But Jesus said, "Follow me and leave the dead to bury their dead." The calming of the storm. And when he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And see, a storm broke over the lake, so violent that the boat was being swamped by the waves. But he was asleep. And they went up to him and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we are lost." And he said to them, Why are you frightened, you who have so little faith?" Then he stood up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a dead calm. They were astounded and said, "Whatever kind of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" The demoniacs of Gadara. When he reached the territory of the Gadarenes, on the other side, 2 demoniacs came towards him out of the tombs. They were so dangerously violent that nobody could pass along that way. Suddenly, they shouted, "What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before the time?" Now, some distance away, there was a large herd of pigs feeding, and the demons pleaded with Jesus, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." And he said to them, "Go." And they came out and made for the pigs. And suddenly the whole herd charged down the cliff into the lake and perished in the water. The herdsmen ran off and made for the city, where they told the whole story, including what had happened to the demoniacs. Now the whole city set out to meet Jesus, and as soon as they saw him, they implored him to leave their neighborhood. The word of the Lord.